Hello. Today, myself and my group members from Group 3 will be presenting two blue ocean strategies that can be implemented for the Autism Community Network. We have considered the ACN's objectives, examined the ACN's operations, and have conducted a full situation analysis. From our investigations, we have identified a key opportunity which arises from the ACN's goal to build a secondary for-profit business that can financially sustain their not-for-profit operations. This presentation will detail our blue ocean strategies for the ACN that can fulfill this goal. Our research has found that the characteristics of industry competitors within this red ocean include characteristics like a strong desire to raise awareness on autism through campaigns and events, industry operators utilizing industry professionals like therapists and educators to facilitate their services, large industry operators aiming to provide a range of services like education programs, employment help, and therapy services for autistic individuals, and industry operators primarily serving the same target segments. We believe that there is a market opportunity for the ACN to expand. Our primary idea centers on the development of a corporate employer training program that can be the main service of the ACN's new business model and take the ACN into the corporate B2B market. This program would be targeted at corporate managers and leaders to train them on how to effectively manage and include autistic employees within their company. The program would be delivered as a digital package that can be easily distributable among the company's corporate leadership and can be easily updated by the ACN. Each education module would be delivered by trained ACN volunteers supervised by Steve Draculis and cover topics for managing autistic employees like inclusivity, working in teams, opportunities, communication, and training. In terms of competition, the only other organization in a similar field would be Aspect, who run workshops and information sessions for parents, carers, educators, and health professionals, which are facilitated by autism specialists. However, they do not run these sessions for corporate professionals. This leaves a gap in the market for the ACN to expand into, as it provides a large and healthy pool of potential clients while resolving the ACN's goal to develop corporate sponsorships and relationships. In terms of buyer utility, this program would be pitched to corporate clients as an aspect of corporate diversity training that the ACN could provide, emphasizing brain diversity in addition to physical diversity in the workplace, as diverse brains lead to diverse and unique ideas and contributions. Additionally, the program could be marketed as an opportunity to greatly improve the client's brand image and public CSR reputation. The Blue Ocean strategies that we implemented into the development of this idea were the 4-action framework and path 4 of the creating new market spaces. Key areas for growth include the ACN's ability to reduce costs associated with events facilitated by their organization and partnerships, whilst providing unique value to current and potential members through service innovation in unexplored markets. Our Blue Ocean strategy follows path 4 of creating new market spaces, wherein our Blue Ocean strategy seeks to look across complementary products and services to offer as part of the ACN. While the ACN's main service is providing local community support and networks as a grassroots organization, this new service offers an opportunity for expansion into the corporate market in relation to raising awareness of and how to manage autism in the workplace, similar to how the ACN currently operates for families and individuals. The following diagram demonstrates the ACN's unique offering compared to their competitors if they decide to pursue our Blue Ocean strategy for corporate employer training program. As you can see, when compared to Aspect and Autism Awareness Australia, this Blue Ocean strategy for the ACN has reduced overhead, marketing, and hiring costs comparatively, whilst being moderately costly for corporate customers. However, in comparison to these competitors, the ACN has significantly higher points in the lived autism experience, service quality, and training convenience portions of the chart. This allows the ACN to break new ground, offering a service that is the first of its kind within the corporate market in regards to raising awareness on autism and training corporate leaders to effectively manage these unique employees. Our Blue Ocean strategy eliminates in-person training seminars in favor of online modules along with the hiring of specialists for in-person training, as these modules are recorded online. This plan reduces costs associated with facilitating in-person training and the hiring of specialists, as well as limiting additional operational costs as it is online. Additionally, our plan raises corporate employer skills in managing and including autistic employees, which also serves to raise company brand image and their CSR profile. Lastly, our Blue Ocean strategy works to create a new business opportunity for the ACN in an untapped market within their industry. This being the introduction of an online diversity program targeted at raising awareness within the corporate world and raising the skills of corporate leaders to effectively manage and lead them. I will now pass it to Michaela to continue with the implementation of our Blue Ocean strategy.
Hi, I'm Michaela, and I will be further discussing our first Blue Ocean idea. So this training program would be available on demand to organizations with its virtual and self-paced nature, removing any accessibility or time barriers that may arise with face-to-face training. The development of the training modules on an established learning management system, such as Talent LMS, allows for simple production. And in addition to this, the majority of learning management systems available provide constant technology support and easy to follow program development software. The training resources can be established permanently within one of these systems with ease of adding and removing new organizations or individual learners. Talent LMS, for example, provides layouts to include short video webinars followed by quizzes or discussion of thought exercises, as well as many other adaptable options. The budget developed for the implementation of these training modules can be seen here. The initial development will require resources through time of current volunteers of the Autism Community Network to develop the educational material, but also assistance from media professionals if needed to edit or produce the educational videos, as well as the initial subscription to the learning management system. In saying this, going forward with the programs, the amount of resources required will significantly decrease. The programs will require minor administration upkeep through communication with organizations, as well as the granting of access to necessary individuals, as well as the processing of payments. This will also include the occasional update of educational material as deemed necessary. Once the education platform is developed, it can be shared with an extensive number of learners without restrictions on time, volunteers, locations, or health risks, given the current pandemic being experienced. This is a major comparison to the face-to-face training, which does have restrictions on these factors, which also increases costs for customers. Due to the reduction of these resources, the price for learners of this program is set at $50 per person. This has area for decreases for larger groups or for corporate rollouts, as seen here. With the base pricing strategy and the projected expenses, the program development and implementation is expected to break even and begin gaining profits throughout the 6th month, being the 4th intake of learners. Given the minimal number of resources available in reference to time, individuals, and funds, the strategy implements an ongoing income source with minimal expenses or volunteers needed. As seen here, the implementation process will require a 2-month period involving the development of the program, the marketing materials, and sufficient administrative personnel. This time period will also involve the rollout of marketing materials to social media platforms, primarily being Facebook and LinkedIn, to gain greater visibility from the corporate market. These materials will highlight the specific nature of the program, as well as the benefits of thought diversity, whilst reinforcing overall corporate social responsibility. Following this 2 months, the commencement of the programs will be triggered, with an expected increase of learners in the ongoing months. For minimal administrative duties, hosting one group of learners per month will reduce time expenditure and provide a predetermined time limit for learners to complete the program. Of course, costs are dependent on the choice of media to communicate the knowledge. For example, a basic PowerPoint with a voiceover could be executed within the Autism Community Network with ease. The initial budget has been developed with minimal expenses and areas to enhance in the future as revenue increases. Along with the development of funds for the Autism Community Network, this strategy also fosters the overall motives of the organisation. Increased education within businesses will aid employment opportunities, of course, whilst also increasing community acceptance and awareness. This not only enhances the availability of independence for people with autism, but also improves the quality of their workplace cultures, relationships, and abilities to excel in their positions. And we'll now move on to our second idea. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shaina. I'll be discussing our second Blue Ocean strategy idea. So our secondary pitch idea for the Autism Community Network is a tutoring service for autistic school students within New South Wales. As outlined in the ACN presentation, there is a need for more assistance in the classroom for autistic students. According to the ABS in 2018, students in schools have reported that they have experienced difficulties with fitting in socially, learning problems, and communication difficulties. Also, 45.9% of young people with autism aged between 5 to 20 years indicated that they needed more support and assistance at school than they were given. Due to the government's limitations for providing support to parents and children in the classroom, our tutoring service idea aims to provide a solution that fills that void. Customers will be given the option to choose between either one-on-one tutoring sessions or group tutoring with up to 4 students. The one-on-one sessions are designed to be more learning focused, which provides students with educational support, whereas group tutoring, while still educational, they are more sociocentric, which encourages positive student interaction. The classes will be taught by qualified educational professionals with experience in teaching students with special needs. Furthermore, the teachers will be trained by ACN staff to ensure that the classes are delivered to ACN standards and guidelines. The tutoring will be provided across the ACN regions. This allows for ACN to utilize their current network to access a large customer base and help those students who require assistance. The tutoring sessions would be delivered with NDIS funding, so it ensures that the autism community is not impacted by additional costs and stays true to the ACN values. The NDIS is currently providing support to more than 57,000 Australians with autism. These participants receive $32,800 in annualized funding, and autistic children receiving an additional $16,700 on average per year under the NDIS. For the development of this second idea, we have chosen to use the 4-action framework, tiers of non-customers, and the strategic sequence as our Blue Ocean strategies. Our Blue Ocean strategy eliminates customers from traveling to a school or institution. This is because the qualified tutors will be the ones traveling to the customers and their respective houses. The idea also reduces the cost for customers as it is NDIS funded, so the parents will not be out of pocket in paying for a private or group tutoring lessons for their child who is under the spectrum and needs additional assistance. The tutoring service offered through ACN will raise quality and skill well above the industry's standards. It also presents accessibility and convenience to ACN customers because the tutors will readily be available on hand. The tutors will also be will be provided through ACN, so therefore that there is a raise in trust instead of finding an independent tutor that customers may not know if they are qualified, reliable, or even practical. Customers will learn to trust that the tutors provided are of excellent quality. Lastly, the Blue Ocean strategy creates an opportunity for inclusion. It also creates a different environment and perspective for the parents and students through individualized and small group learning experiences. Our Blue Ocean strategy idea relates to customer tiers as well. It targets tier 1 of the framework, which is the soon-to-be non-customers who are on the fence about transitioning to ACN. This can include families that have either tried tutoring for special needs in the past or similar tutoring services, as well as those looking to help their child's education in their home environment where they may be more comfortable. My next group member, Xander, will continue the presentation and explain the use of strategic sequence as a Blue Ocean strategy. Thank you.
Our second Blue Ocean strategy idea is viable because it passes each stage of the strategic sequence. There is exceptional buyer utility in our business idea as it utilizes 2 utility levers, this being simplicity and convenience. Our concept also engages in the use stage of the buyer experience cycle. With the tutoring service being easily accessible and convenient for customers, our autism tutoring service idea offers exceptional buyer utility to the customer. The pricing for our autism tutoring service idea is easily accessible to the massive buyers. In the broader tutoring services market, tutoring costs are anywhere from $20 to $200 per hour. This depends on the student's level of education, if the tutoring is specialized to specific subjects, and the experience of the tutor. For specialized tutoring services for those with autism, the price range is in between $20 to $100 per hour. This is subject to the same conditions of the broader market, with factors such as the level of education and experience of the tutors influencing price. Taking into consideration the level of legal and resource protection, exclusive assets and core capacity to block invitation from the competition, and the NDIS funding the customers will use to pay for the tutoring services, the price of the tutoring service will total $61.76 per hour. As a result, this places the tutoring service in the mid-level to low-level pricing bracket amongst the broader tutoring services market and mid-level pricing bracket amongst the specialised autism tutoring services market. The cost target for profit can be obtained at a strategic price point. This is justified in the business structure. The business structure involves customers coming to the organisation for specialised autism tutoring services. The organisation then distributes the work to the subcontractor and connects the students with the tutor. Since the tutor is being subcontracted, the business can cut travel and logistical expenses, as the subcontractor will be paid at a higher flat rate to cover these costs themselves. Subcontractors will be provided with a flat rate of $40 per hour and receive an additional $20 per hour when having group sessions. This leaves the organisation to profit $29.76 per hour and an additional $41.76 per hour from the group sessions. With this structure in place, the organisation can focus on providing training and allocating jobs to subcontractors, as well as managing operational costs. Operational costs and expenses can be minimised by utilising a home office where some costs are tax deductible, or ACN's current workplace. With this business structure, the service can be offered at a target cost and still allow the organisation to maintain a healthy profit at a strategic price. There are multiple hurdles that the business faces in actualising their idea. One of the limitations the business faces is the training of subcontractors. The firm has to ensure that they are providing an effective training program to subcontractors. This allows for the tutors to operate to the organisation's standards of practice and can effectively help the student with their learning and social needs. Another hurdle the business faces is the implication of COVID-19. The organisation should ensure that they are always following the COVID guidelines set by the government. Another adoption hurdle that the business faces is becoming an NDIS provider. The business has to provide an auditing cost of $15,000 upfront to be considered as an NDIS provider. Furthermore, the business model relies on the company being an NDIS provider, as customers will be using NDIS funding to pay for the services. Looking at the Gantt chart, one of the benefits for the client is the time it will take to implement the idea. Over 6 months, the business can make a return on investment. This meets ACN's objectives, as they will be able to fund their non-profit organisation in a short time frame. Looking at the marketing budget, another benefit for ACN is the low-cost social media intensive marketing. By marketing 3 posts per week on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, the business can gain massive amounts of exposure for a relatively small cost. ACN can use a banner ads on their website to promote their autism tutoring services. Google advertising allows the business to set a maximum budget per month. If the full amount is not reached, the business can save money. This allows for effective marketing at a cheaper cost. In total, the cost of the marketing budget is $200,000. This meets ACN's objectives, as the business will allow for monetary gain to be easily accessible due to the low cost in investment and eventually help financially sustain their not-for-profit operation. Another benefit for ACN is the idea of being an NDIS funded program. This meets ACN's objectives, as it allows them to provide a service that is not disadvantageous to the community. In conclusion, myself and my group members have taken into consideration ACN's objectives, examined their operations, conducted a situational analysis, and presented 2 Blue Ocean ideas that the Autism Community Network can implement. We have used Blue Ocean frameworks to justify our ideas and have identified key opportunities which arise from their goal to build a secondary for-profit business that can financially sustain their not-for-profit operations.